Hector. Sure, I'll try to explain. So this person wants to know what were the thoughts specifically that I had in regards, or that I was having in regards to the awakening and the journey that were not mine. How did I realize that they were not mine? So what happened? Don't mind my picture fell and it broke. So excuse the little white sticker there. What happened is this was about 2 weeks ago, and this was, I don't know if it was the same night my little girl, she graduated kindergarten. I don't know if it was that night or the night before, the day after. I just remember 2 weeks ago, almost every day that week, even until now, it's not so bad now, but every day that week, I was waking up like at 4 in the morning, at 6 in the morning, and I'd wake up in a panic, okay? And it reminded me of my dark night of the soul. Except during my dark night of the soul, during dark night of the soul, you wake up and you're like ruminating in your thoughts, you're having anxiety, you're trying to understand what's going on, why can't I sleep, and all, the whole, waking up during the spiritual hour, when the veil is thin. 3 to 5. This is what happens during everyone's awakening, right? You wake up from like 2 to 5 in the morning, right? Or 3 to 5 in the morning. Luckily, I don't do that anymore, but it was happening recently. And I thought, why is this happening all over again? Well, it makes sense because they're awakening, right? Then one of the nights, like I said, I can't remember if it was during the night. So the night of her graduation, I had a panic attack. Mind you, I was having such a great day. Even that day, I remember when I got home, I was like, why do I feel like crying? And I was getting emotional, and I was having these random spurts of wanting to cry, and it would last for 2 seconds and they would go. So again, not my feelings. And I'm like, why is this happening? And I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I said, Jessica, get your shit together. This is your daughter's day. It is your daughter's graduation. You need to be happy. And then I go into the bathroom and all of a sudden, I just start crying for no more than 5 seconds and it goes away. And I'm like, okay. So then later that night, we're watching a movie, a family movie, and I had my panic attack and I'm hyperventilating. My chest is hurting. I'm crying and I'm like, why am I feeling this way? This is insane. And I had to go to the bedroom and my daughter's like, oh my God, mommy, I can feel your pain. Poor baby. She's like that. She's very empathic like me. So like I said, I can't remember if it was that night or the night before or after. I was laying in bed and all of a sudden, it was like I was processing the journey as if it was brand new information. And this is how I knew this wasn't mine. So I'm laying in bed and I was getting frustrated. It was I almost felt very masculine energy. And I was like, I don't understand. How can this happen? I don't get it. I meet this person at this time. We reconnect years later. All of a sudden, I can't stop thinking about them. And now they're my twin flame. How does this make sense? And so this is what was going, I said this out loud and I was like, whoa, Jessica, snap out of it. You're acting as if this is brand new information to you. And I thought, oh my God, it's because he's processing it. I thought, this is insane. This is insane. Obviously, I'm not hearing him in my head, but it's coming to me as if it's my own thoughts. And then when I realize that they're not, because, it's just crazy, right? So this was how I knew. And then I want to say it was a few days later, that was when I connected with my client. She actually met her twin the same exact day in 2022, in August 2022, that I started talking to my twin. And I'm like, okay, that's no coincidence. And he had also just told her that same week that he knew about twin flames. So there was that, there's the anxiety, there's just, the random need to cry. When you've already gone through all this stuff, guys. This is how you know. When you've already gone through this stuff, you've already felt these emotions, you've already gone through dark night of the soul. And yes, you can have more than one dark night of the soul, but when you're already in such a healed path, you're already doing so well in your journey, and it's almost like you're reliving your own dark night of the soul, but a little bit smaller because, again, it's not yours. Right? So when I would wake up in the middle of the night, I wouldn't sit there ruminating in my thoughts. I would go back to sleep, but it would put me in that panic, that anxiety, like I did when I had my dark night of the soul in September 2022. So it's a lot. It's a lot, right? So you guys have to remember, just because you're going through these feelings, sometimes they're not yours. Sometimes, unfortunately, they are theirs, but you can help them through it. So That's what happened to me. Long story short, but it wasn't so short.